An unfortunate truth about the film industry is that great movies don't always achieve the success you think they deserve, at least financially. It might come as a surprise to some people, but some of the most beloved, classic movies from the past 40-ish years actually bombed at the box office when they first released. There's no question that a strong financial performance is essential for the survival of a movie release, but there's never any telling how any film will age as time passes. These films are proof that a movie that might not have done well financially initially could still end up as a beloved, iconic flick for many people. Sometimes a movie is a victim of its own production. 1982's TRON is an undeniable classic, for its groundbreaking visual effects, if nothing else. And what's even cooler is that the majority of the effects weren't done digitally. Sure, there were some digital ones, but for most of them, the film producers used a clever blend of practical effects and lighting. What's crazy is that the film was ineligible for the visual effects Oscar due to the Academy believing that computer-generated effects are cheating. That little injustice aside, TRON also bombed the box office despite its amazing effects and visuals. Disney ended up pushing back its holiday release date to the middle of the summer because it wanted to spite Don Bluth and his The Secret of NIMH. Bluth had recently left the company to create his own animation studio, and the mouse decided the betrayal couldn't be left alone, so it used TRON to compete with him. Due to this, the film also had to compete with E.T. and Poltergeist. And sometimes, the humor is ahead of its time. Mike Judge had already carved himself a reputation as an amazing producer of multi-layered satire before he released Office Space, thanks to his work on Beavis and Butthead Do America, so it's no surprise that the 1999 comedy is so beloved nowadays. It's a hilarious look at the world of office jobs, with it providing a fantastic commentary that pokes fun at corporate culture and what it's like to be an employee. If only people appreciated that 24 years ago though. As great as Office Space is, when the film first released, it didn't really see any major success. The genius comedy barely managed to gross $10 million at the box office, which was only enough to cover the film's budget. It was only in the years after the film's release that audience members warmed up to it and realized that it was a comedic masterpiece. So while the film might not have done the best financially, it did eventually receive the appreciation it deserved, and so did Mike Judge.
Now, are you going to go ahead and have those TPS reports for us this afternoon?
Even animations aren't immune to box office flops. Disney's Treasure Planet is the most expensive traditional animation film ever made, and you can tell, as it's an absolutely gorgeous piece of animated work. Based on Robert Louis Stevenson's novel of the same name, the film follows a rebellious teen who goes on a space journey to discover the legendary Treasure Planet after receiving a map from a dying pirate. Disney truly believed in the film's success, and so did the audience. So, it never really made a lot of sense when it ended up as one of the biggest box office flops ever. Regardless of Treasure Planet's fantastic story and visuals, the film bombed in theaters and ended up losing $30 million. In the years after the film's release, it managed to maintain a strong cult following, with many people being very fond of it thanks to its striking visuals and it being one of the last films made using 2D animation.
And he taught me that I could chart my own course.
You're probably a bit surprised by this one. David Fincher's cinema adaptation of Chuck Palahniuk's novel of the same name is widely considered the must-watch for anyone with even the slightest interest in movies. Fight Club is regarded as having an amazing, multi-layered story that explores the darker side of modern life, fantastic characters with tons of depth, and the star power of actors like Brad Pitt, Helena Bonham Carter, and Edward Norton. So how could it not have done great financially? Well, here's the thing. When it first released, many people weren't too fond of Pitt and Norton's gladiator arenas, complemented by beatings in basements around the US. The movie even at one moment was labeled as fascist, due to which there was a lot of controversy around its release. And with that in mind, it managed to gross just $101 million with a $63 million budget. So while it didn't lose any money, it was hardly a financial hit. At least, it's widely regarded as a classic nowadays.
Seminar. Stop trying to control everything and just let go.
Film debuts are rarely this good. Donnie Darko might just be one of the definitions of underrated. It's rare that a film debut manages to tell a convincing story and so bravely yet aptly walk the line between horror and psychological thriller. Yet, Richard Kelly's Donnie Darko manages to do all these things and does so without you being able to tell it was a low-budget production. The film even has a giant bunny called Frank, which garnered a huge cult following in the years since the film's rather unsuccessful release. Considering Donnie Darko is so beloved and praised, and that it was also a low-budget film, it's hard to imagine that it could realistically be a major flop, right? Well, the film made less than $1 million at the box office, failing to even recoup its $6 million budget. Richard Kelly has even admitted that he had to, quote, accept his fate, and that the film needed to age before audiences could fully appreciate it.
Destruction is a form of creation, so the fact that they burn the money is ironic.
And that's it for today. Thank you for watching, guys. Do you agree with us that these films are classics even though they didn't do too well when they first released? Let us know in the comments. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a like and maybe even subscribe to our channel if you want to watch more videos about your favorite TV shows and movies in the future. Thank you again, and we'll see you again. Same channel, different time.